Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Dino's Kitchen. I've decided to treat myself
Forget something.
and my wife with a lovely steak sandwich. I'm not gonna classify that as an American steak sandwich or Italian steak sandwich or Japanese steak sandwich. This is a Dino's style steak sandwich. But before we start, subscribe, put a like, share the content if you enjoy. Facciamo! First thing we wanna do now is marinate our meat. You need to rest a couple of hours in the fridge. So I picked a very thin beef slice. Important thing to do first, we wanna go against the grain and slice them as thin as possible. I think you don't really need an expensive piece of meat to have a tender and juicy steak. If the meat is nice and tender, when you bite into it, it will just bite off easily. We're gonna place all the steaks like that in a container. Things are getting serious here, so put your sleeves up. We need to marinate the meat. I'm gonna start with some dark soy sauce, roughly about 20 ml. Good amounts of freshly cracked black pepper. Please don't buy the cracked one already. That has got so much more flavor when you just crack fresh like that. Nice pinch of onion powder, and then we go through Italy with a lovely splash of extra virgin olive oil. I'm not putting any salt because we already have got the dark soy sauce, which is already salty enough. I like to drizzle a little bit of honey to obviously give a bit of sweetness to the meat. Honey tenderize naturally the meat, especially when you marinate for a long time. We can give a nice mix to the meat. Remember, the longer you're gonna leave that with the soy sauce, the more flavor will penetrate into the meat. We can set that into the fridge. Ma se sei in garage, just in the fridge. For our veg, I've picked a combination of white onion and peppers. I know in America probably it's very common and I think they nailed that. Peppers, onions and beef. It works very, very well. I'm not looking to get very soft veggies. I wanna get nice and roasted and quite crunchy. Therefore, I'm gonna slice them a bit chunkier. That is the size that I'm looking for. So I'll slice them not very thin, not very chunky. If you have got white bits like that, carefully remove them. They are not very pleasant to eat. We can mix them with the onions. We're gonna grab a nice pan, very high temperature, and I mean very, very high, the maximum temperature you can get from your hobs. Our pan is super hot now, and it's time to add our veg into it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Straight away with a nice pinch of salt. The salt will obviously add flavors, but it will also help the veg cook faster because it will release all the water from it. At this stage we can add a touch of black pepper. That is what we're looking for, you see? Nice and roasted. We're gonna keep cooking for a few more minutes. We can place them on a side like that. I've picked a lovely sourdough baguette.
I don't even know what that's for.
You can pick whichever cheese you want. Personally, Emmental cheese for this recipe is just what you need. I want the overflow a little bit outside of the bread's greasiness. You get what I mean? Bread goes in the oven, because if you put it in the fridge, it doesn't work. Once the meat is ready, after a few hours in the fridge, we put on the pan on a very, very, very high heat. That needs to be a very fast fry off. The meat need to go in and out of the pan in, let's say, 1 minute. Little bit of olive oil just to help the frying process. Remember, there is already olive oil on the meat. Now, at this stage, it's ready. I know you still see a bit of raw meat in here. Don't you worry, because with the heat of the meat, it will completely cook off. Our lid on, and the steam will do the job. So everything will be nice and moist. That will only be for about 30 to 40 seconds. We need the sauce, my friend. We're gonna go in with a few spoons of mayo, a little bit of mustard, and look at that. Nice layer of mustard mayo. Wow, my friend, honestly, the smell. I just wanna show you something. You see how it's a bit pink in the middle? Just a touch, and look, it just breaks so easily. I know sometimes people say, oh, this sandwich was very hard to eat. You know, it was tasty, but it was so messy. So keep the quantity pretty much like that. Once you press it down, everything will spread nice and evenly in the sandwich. And it's just beautiful. Look, juicy. Have you asked for juicy? I think so. Give a nice capata and let me know what you think. And look at the meat. You see nothing, it pulls out.
Can I get my capata? You heard.
¿Qué pasa?
That's a good capata.
I really hope you have enjoyed the video. And please let us know in the comments what you would like to see next. Ciao!